Off the bench, it's Matty Bancroft, Lewis Maloney, Will Thornton, Frank Mulhern and Jack Waldron. And quickly down that Marine side, Metcalf in goal, Sloan, Butler, Brown and Wardle across the backs. Gregson, Whelan, Hazelhurst should be a sort of holding three with Andy Scarisbrick playing just in front of them, and Finlay, Sinclair, Smith and Bobby Grant up front off the bench for them. Thomas, Fielding, Shaw, Robinson and Murphy. Referee today is Tom Wilson from Carlisle, who refereed Scarborough when they beat Scunthorpe down here 1-0. And if Scarborough can put a performance in today like they did that day, they'll go well, won't they? Because that was a cracking win that day against Scunthorpe, Neil. Yeah, absolutely. You know, it was a game where there was a lot of anticipation. Big pressure on Scunthorpe. They've handled that quite well this season. They're still top. Andy Butler's done a marvellous job. But on that day, on that particular day, Scarborough were much more of a match and deservedly took the 3 points. Yep, decent crowd down here at the Sports Village, and we're about ready to go. It is going to be Scarborough to kick off by the look of it. And Sam Reid over the ball at the moment. In the familiar red and white, kicking from right to left as we look at it. Marine in blue with a bit of white trim on there. Referee's happy, blows the whistle. Sam Reid gets us underway and goes all the way back to Ryan Whitley. The keeper lofts the ball up front, and Luca Colville just got blocked off there by a Marine defender. Ball once more lofted onto the edge of the Marine box, hooked away again. Alex Brown contesting that ball. Gregson in possession at the moment for Marine. And they just come back into their own half. Ball knocked long by James Butler, the experienced James Butler, but goes out for a goal kick to Scarborough. Chilly old day down here. Neil and I thought we were going to be in our deck chairs today, but in shorts, but we're wrapped up in coats. It's very warm. Yeah, no, it's clouded over. I think that's what's done us. But just looking at how Scarborough's lined up, and we talked about this before, Andy, it looks to me like Green's going to play on the left and Reid's going to play on the right, which we talked about. And I think that Dom Tier's going to give some support to Stephen Walker down the middle, so it's probably going to be more of a 4-2-3-1, to be honest with you. Yep. With Alex Purver and Colville sat, but good start by both sides. Yeah, Colville just outside the box, cross comes in, headed away with difficulty by Butler, the central defender for Marine. Ball collected by the keeper Max Metcalf, who's on loan from Stockport County. He's just had 5 appearances since he came in from Stockport, carrying the ball one-handed at the moment, and then rattles it downfield. Mackenzie Boltby gets a foot there. Ball goes up in the air, tidied up by Kieran Willedgie, and then Scarisbrick on the ball in centre field. Shot from range by young Finlay Sinclair Smith that well, say it was wide of the target would be an understatement. Yeah, just looking at the two centre backs for Scarborough today, Kieran Willedgie and Mackenzie Maltby, and you know, obviously he's a young and experienced centre half. Maltby coming from Sheffield Wednesday has done brilliant for Scarborough this season, and obviously Kieran Willedgie has played most of his season at full back, so it's going to be a test for them. Obviously the big centre forward for them, Grant's renowned for being a powerful boy, and he'll get hold of it. It's important the battle they win that. Yeah, interesting little conversation going on down there. Already a little bit of an adjustment possibly from John O'Green, and he pulled Alex Brown across and was just making various points to him, pointing out onto the field. So I don't know what he's seen early, Neil, but it may have a bearing on proceedings. Yeah, definitely. I mean, a lot of it's, you know, being played through central areas, which is, you know, really difficult. The swamp in that area, there's loads of blue shirts centrally. It's important that they keep that with Scarborough. That's where they're at the best. Yeah, tenacious bit of work there on Scarborough's behalf from Sam Reid, a player on loan from Sheffield Wednesday. Alex Brown tries to move the ball down the left side. Ball just runs out of his possession, but Marine give it up at the expense of a throw-in. And Alex Brown will try and loft this one into the box, I would think.
I'd just be interested to see how Stephen Walker goes on in that central position. And he's played most of his football wide now. He's been at the club, maybe long enough now to have his feet under the table.
Yep. Yeah, Stephen Walker, a recent recruit for Scarborough. Harry Green with the ball at his feet. He'll take players on with Harry Green if he gets chance, and if he gets sight of those posts, just tries to curl one inside the left-hand post of Max Metcalf, but probably went a couple of metres wide of the goal, but certainly worthy of an effort early doors from Harry Green.
Yeah, I do like Harry Green. He just gives you something. He's got that X factor. He's got that turn of pace, can go past a man. Definitely got an eye for goal, Andy.
Yeah, he has. Yep. Long ball downfield, picked up by Marine. Ball sort of flicks off the shoulder of Dom Tier. Marine try and recycle, but again, another long ball from Butler downfield. Gregson, his midfield player, who was the nearest to the pass through, sort of turned and gesticulated towards him, and that was reciprocated by the experienced centre back.
Yeah, he's got the wind with him as well. It's a difficult one in it to lift it over the back line and keep it in play.
Yeah,
just runs out for a goal kick.
Ball out to the right side from Mackenzie Maltby, and Scarborough managed to hold on to possession out there. Luca Colville just plays it off the Marine player. Throw into Scarborough.
I think it's a steady start from both sides, and at the moment I think both look comfortable in the shape. Obviously there's a little bit of confidence running through this Marine side because they're in the run of a rich vein of form.
Yeah, you were saying unbeaten in 6, Scarborough unbeaten at home in 4, so something will give today possibly. Marine again down in the quadrant, just half of the field, just in front of us. Player streaming through from midfield. Push the ball on into Sinclair Smith. The good overlap and the ball knocked in, but Scarborough managed to get it away. Alex Purver initially just
offside.
Yeah, offside given by the linesman. Flag aloft, and free kick signalled by referee Wilson.
And that was an impressive attack by Marine, to be fair. Connected 3 or 4 passes before they got round the Scarborough penalty area.
Yeah, good overlap and a good cross.
Yeah.
Scarborough just on halfway, they go backwards to Mackenzie Maltby, who's had an impressive season. We were talking about him a little bit earlier, Neil.
Yeah, he's on loan from Sheffield Wednesday, and it's his second loan. Came initially, got in the side and really impressed, to be honest with you, for a young player. He's been ably helped as well by Thornton at centre-back, who's been outstanding this season for me. He's been a tremendous performer.
Tidy work there between Brown, Green and Tier. Ball goes down the left, but I think it may well have faded out for the goal kick. It did before Alex Brown could try and get the cross in from the left side. Still 0-0. We've had around about 5 minutes down here at the Sports Village. Little conversation going on between the Josh Wardle, the Marine central defender, and the referee. He's indicated that he'd been manhandled. Some watery sunshine breaks out down here at Scarborough. Good head from Kieran Waleji, and then Alex Purver set free. Just breaks into the Marine half of the field, couldn't get enough control on the ball, and the ball just runs away into the possession of the Marine keeper.
Really interested to see how Scarborough cope without that physical presence centrally of Bennett and Thornton at centre-back, and Bennett as that lone striker. And they've played some good stuff so far, but you just know at some point that physicality is going to come into play, isn't it?
Yeah, absolutely. And he's had such a good season as Richie Bennett. Came under a bit of a cloud when he came from Scunthorpe, didn't he?
Yeah.
He hadn't had a great time there, but it's certainly shown up really well and been a fan's favourite here for the amount of just sheer graft and hard work he puts in up front.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, he's a great get out for him as well. You know, if the ball goes back to front, it sticks, and they can get past B, you know, with a build-up play. And I've got a feeling they might miss him today.
Tidy with a bit of work there from Harry Green, the referee. I think he's given a free kick to. Is it free kick or a throw in?
Yes.
Throw into Marine. I think the ball had faded out. Harry Green probably just didn't prevent it staying in field. James Brown with the throw in. Not the James Brown.
Is he feeling good?
Yeah, could be. Certainly a bit of a sex machine, apparently. And other James Brown jokes. It is a corner to Marine, conceded by Mackenzie Maltby down there in the left corner.
Yeah, this is the first set play in it of the game so far. So,
yep, player on loan from Burton Albion to take the corner. Jack Hazelhurst going to swing it in off that right boot. And ball back to Hazelhurst, and it just swings a right boot in. The ball disappears over the Fortress stand away to our right hand side.
yeah, I was just going to say, you know, we're talking earlier about Bennett and Thornton missing, and that is exactly the scenario where you're going to miss your height and your physicality. And they kept the ball alive there, Marine. It dropped back to the corner taker, but he just couldn't keep it on target. But that's going to be an issue for Scarborough.
Yeah, it was a bit of a hit now, but effort from Hazelhurst. Little nudge there on Stephen Walker, and just a classic case there. I'm always maintaining that the forwards aren't well enough looked after, and Steve Walker just got a little nudge off the ball from the central defender, not picked up by the officials. And now Marine have a free kick midway into the Scarborough half of the field.
Yeah, great little bit of play by Scarborough, something that we mentioned before the game, talking about him and having the ability, and he's just come back to fitness. Key player for them, showed all his quality there to win a free kick.
Yeah, came back to the club after he was with Marine in 2022, and he's certainly been part of the responsibility for the upturn in form that Marine have shown. Two players over the free kick. It is Hazelhurst who takes it, and heading back to his keeper by Dom Tier.
Yeah, it was a bit tame in the end, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Well defended by Scarborough.
Stephen Walker ball knocked forward to him, but just drifts over his head and back into the possession of the visitors. Another ball rifled long downfield. And there's a shot that for a second it was Bobby Grant that latched onto it. Just opportunist.
It was a great bit of play
effort from 25 metres out, Neil, and for a second when I saw him strike it, I thought it was going over Ryan Whitley's head, but he just put both hands up, picked it out the air.
Yeah, I mean, it's a great bit of play, and it was all his own work. I mean, he bullied young Mackenzie Maltby. Both have gone up for the challenge. The ball's dropped loose from him, and he's just hit it on the half volley. It's dropped right into Ryan Whitley's hands, but good play.
Yep, Ryan Whitley just picked it out of the air, and I suppose that's the advantage of being 6 foot and quite a bit. Hazelhurst again, he's been busy early in midfield for Marine. Turns again, and then has to come back, just recycling the ball again. But two little gaps in that midfield there. Ball seemed to find a Marine player very, very easily. And then Luca Colville does a bit of tidying up, goes back to his keeper. We're still 0-0 here at the Sports Village, 16th in the table, both pretty safe from the relegation zone. 4 teams at the bottom pretty much tailed off at the moment at the bottom of National League North. Alex Brown looks for opportunities forward, goes back to Mackenzie Maltby. Ball along the edge of the Scarborough penalty area to Waleji through to Colville. Again, Scarborough managing to string passes together, but having to come back again.
This is good play though, to be fair, Andy. They're just getting a foothold in the game, making this Marine side work for it. Asking them the question.
Yeah, well, Edgy tries to promote that ball forward down the right wing. Colville, good bit of work. Don't know how he managed to hang on to that ball. It sort of stuck between his legs, but he managed to tidy it up. But now Scarborough won the ball back on the halfway line. Mackenzie Maltby. Nice little bit of work from Harry Green to set Alex Brown free. Alex Brown thought he was fouled, makes that point to the referee down in front of us, but it's only going to be a throw into Scarborough.
There's a crunching tackle, to be fair, from Gregson. He knew he was there, didn't he?
Yeah, it was well timed as well, I think. Referee got it right. So, Alex Brown to Harry Green. Brown, will he try and go down the left side? No, makes a bit of space for Harry Green to cross this ball in, and then he just rolls his foot over it. Now they set Harry Green free. Can he get there in time? He does. Chance from the left side of the penalty area. Sam Reid tries to cut back inside, and the left-footed shot that's blocked. But enterprising bit of work with Harry Green at the hub of it, Neil.
Yeah, brilliant. Just twisting and turning. And a little third-man run into the box. Did brilliant. Twisted and turned back onto his right foot and clipped it to the back stick where Sam Reid was.
That was Mackenzie Maltby trying to get Stephen Walker in there, but just a little. Stephen Walker was making the run between two defenders, but there was just a little bit too much on it. Ball ran into the possession of the Marine keeper.
That's the first time we've seen a straight ball and a straight line run, and that's what he's really good at, Stephen Walker. He's got the pace to get in behind. They were quite high as a back line there, Marine. To be fair, it was spotted. Good ball and unlucky.
Yeah. Offside, Marine, so Scarborough able to start from the back again as Kieran Willedge comes forward, the former Whitby player. Now Sam Reid down the right side. Chance to put the cross in. Well blocked by Bailey Slatt, the player that came into Marine from Farsley Celtic. On his third appearance, I think, today in a Marine shirt. We have had just about 18 minutes here at the Scarborough Sports Village. You're listening to BBC Radio York. Myself, Andy Atkinson, and Neil Redfern describing the action as the Sea Dogs try and get the win, and they're looking to achieve the ambition that Jonathan Greening has set them. The manager of finishing higher than they did last season. They finished 13th. They are in 13th at the moment. Buxton at home next week is their next game.
Yeah, they're just settling down now, Scarborough. Just starting to connect some passes, starting to probe that back line, getting the ball in midfield. It's better play, more assured.
Yes, Sam Reid there just trying to poke that ball through, but again, just a little bit too much on it. But you're right, they're certainly growing into the game, Neil.
Yeah, and I think that what you've got is you've got an opposition that's playing with confidence. You know, they're playing off the back of some good results. They're playing well. There's, you know, quite a change to personnel. They've got some of the better players back. You know, and it's not an easy game to play in, but they're a side that's wanting to come and play. Like Scarborough, like to get it down and pass it. So
that's a good battle today, Maltby against Grant.
Yeah, it's even Stephen at the minute, I would say.
Yeah. Bobby Grant over 500 career appearances at various places, including Blackpool and Accrington. 100 goals in his career as well, so that's a good strike rate. Marine down the side. Ball back to Hazelhurst again. Looks for the ball out onto the right to Gregson. Gregson tries to control the ball, but it runs away from him. And Scarborough able to clear. Domtier going up over halfway, taking on the Marine number 4 down the left side. And getting the throw in. Once more Brown and Green.
Offside, is it? Yeah.
Yeah, Stephen Walker.
Yeah, just his timing of his movement, and as that ball goes to go into him, he's got to be aware of the line stepping up. And they just caught him out there.
Yeah, I was just remonstrating with Alex Brown there. I wasn't sure whether he just wanted the ball fed into his feet there
earlier. Yeah. Definitely earlier, and probably, like you say, into his feet. But I think that in his usual position, where I've seen him before, he's been coming in off left. Playing as a lone striker, you've got to make sure you're onside. You've got to make sure you get hold of the ball, because it's important for your team in building possession and building play in and around the opposition's penalty area.
Yeah, fabulous analysis for us today. Neil Redfern alongside. This game still 0-0 and absolutely nothing in it at the moment. Little opportunity at either end, but the scoreline remains 0-0. Harry Green down the left side on the edge of the box, looking to take players on, just trying to chip that ball in off his left foot, and I think he was caught in two minds there, Neil, as to whether to try and curl the ball back as a cross, or whether to just have an enterprising dig at goal, and there was too much on it in the end, went over the crossbar.
Yeah, and they looked that way. He's definitely got the beating of Brown, there's no two ways about it, but obviously his stronger right foot is where he comes and does most of the damage, and he goes down the outside on his left, and I've seen him get good ball in with his left foot, but that one just faded over the bar. More of a cross shot, I would have said.
11 goals for the season for Harry Green.
Yeah, it's not bad, is it? Not a bad total.
No, it isn't, and he has an eye for goal, hasn't he?
Yeah.
The half chance. Ball out of play at the moment, away down the length of the main stand. James Brown with the ball in his hands. Goes to Whelan, the Irishman.
Yeah, there's been a little bit of a lull after a good start from both sides. Both sides just finding out what each opposition is about.
It's Alex Purver just tidying up there for Scarborough, got the foot in. But the ball breaks to Hazelhurst. And then Sinclair Smith down the left side from the edge of the box, curls the ball in. Gregson can't get a head on it, just too much on it, and drifts over his head, goes out. Just flicked off the top of his head, went out for a goal kick to Scarborough. And once again, Marine trying to exploit things down that left side.
Yeah, we haven't seen much of Michael Duckworth this half, have we, at right back? Definitely seen more of Alex Brown from left back for Scarborough.
Yeah. Michael Duckworth coming in today, and Kieran Welledge moving into the centre of the back four for Will Thornton, who is on the bench. Just had a quick word with Will when he arrived at the ground and told me he wouldn't be starting today because of a little injury. Don't know whether it's a recurrence of the one that kept him out early in the season. Mackenzie Maltby just about let that ball run off his toe, but then...
Oh, they're lucky there, they've got away with that.
Yeah, it was Carisbrooke that was called offside, but when you glanced across, Neil, I wasn't sure that Kieran Welledge wasn't playing him onside. Maybe the Scarborough have dodged a bullet there, but the linesman's flag went up, and it was a little... Mackenzie Maltby guilty of a little bit of overplaying there, and just let the ball roll out of his possession. Yeah,
just a little bit loose at the moment, Mackenzie Maltby. We've seen him have some really good performances, some fine performances alongside Thornton, but he just needs to start doing simple things well. Make sure you defend well first if you're a centre back.
Ryan Whitley looks for Sam Reid. Good control. And then he's Green trying to cut past players. Dom Tier gets there, and I think it was possibly Harry Green that committed the foul. Dom Tier ended up on the floor trying to control the ball. Once more conversation going off between the referee and Marine Central defenders. Not sure what he was appealing for there, whether he thought that Scarborough players should have gone in the book. It looked all fairly innocuous.
Yeah, I think both players went for it fairly, to be honest.
Sinclair Smith tight to the far touchline, gets the ball inside to Hazelhurst for Marine, looking for the cross, gets the cross in,
it's a great ball.
and it flashed across the Scarborough box with no Marine player getting anything on it. Bobby Grant at the moment, the centre forward, has his head in his hands, and just wonder how close he got to it.
Yeah.
And it's actually been touched by a Scarborough player on its way through, so it is a corner for Marine.
It's a great ball in. Just flashed it right across the 6-yard box, and it only needed a touch.
Yeah, made himself an extra yard, didn't he, Neil?
Yeah.
Just pushed the ball away from the Scarborough defender, gave him room to flash the ball in. Hazelhurst, good header and a good goal. And it's Butler, the central defender, that got on the end of Hazelhurst's corner. James Butler, veteran player really in many ways in this youthful Marine side. But again, I'll go back to what Neil was saying a little bit earlier, possibly the fact that Will Thornton's not out there today, and Scarborough just proving a little bit vulnerable in the air, in the box, Neil.
Well, it was a great ball in, and the only people attacking it were in blue shirts. That was the shame for Scarborough. You know, like you said, we did mention about Thornton and Bennett missing for set plays for and against. Definitely missing from that one there. As soon as you keep the ball out of Ryan Whitley's area, where he can come and get it, the big man, you know, they're in trouble, Scarborough, because they're not the biggest today.
Yeah, well, it is Scarborough who fall behind 1-0 to the visitors. There's Harry Green on the left side, tries to chip the ball inside to Stephen Walker, but too many Marine defenders in the way for that pass to get there, and then Mackenzie Maltby has to put the ball into touch, and it will be a Marine throw, but just put some wind into the sails of the visitors, that goal.
Yeah, definitely. If I'm honest, Andy, I would say, you know, it's been quite an even start, but if I were going to say one side's threatening more, I would say Marine. You know, it's been coming, to be honest with you.
Yeah, they played some football. They go back to the keeper, Metcalf. He doesn't get a great contact on it. Ball loops up in the air, but once again, it's Marine players who are first there. And then Alex Brown drills the ball forward for Scarborough. Cut out by Wardle. But it was James Butler with the goal from that corner. Hazelhurst corner. It was Hazelhurst that won the corner in the end.
It was a great header, to be fair. Went and attacked it. Really positive. Good ball in. Missed out the keeper, like I said. Missed out them red shirts in that central area. Just give the big centre half chance to come and get his head on it.
Yeah, Ryan Whitley, no chance. It was up in the top corner.
Yeah, and these are the sort of games, and you know, you get to this part of the season, and he's right, he's John O'Green, in that you want to finish on a high, you know, and obviously they've got a bit of momentum, Marine, they've found the feet, and they're definitely on a high at the moment.
Yeah, Harry Green just losing out there as Marine tried to come forward again. Ball into the middle towards Scarisbrick, but Alex Brown too strong for him, but then has the ball nicked off his toes by Greg Snooze, a chance to cross from the right. Cut out by the head of Mackenzie Maltby. And it was a good cross again, and important connection from the Scarborough central defender. Then the ball comes in from the other side from Sinclair Smith. And they certainly got a spring in their step now of this Marine side.
Yeah, they're under the cosh, Scarborough here. I mean, I know we talked at the beginning of the show about the importance of Thornton and Bennett, but they look bereft of physicality at the moment. They're winning all the second phase. They're getting onto all the challenges quickly. They look brighter in the movement, the Marine, and it's causing Scarborough a problem.
1-0 here at the Sports Village to the visitors. Marine, the score were to stay the same, it would avenge that 1-0 win Scarborough had over in Cheshire earlier in the season. And it was Dom Tier that was on the scoreboard that day. And these statistics that come up, Dom Tier at the moment is on the longest dry run without a goal of any player in the National League North who's in double figures.
Yeah, we haven't seen too much of him in this game, to be honest with you. We know he's capable of getting in front of goal and scoring, but they've been overrun in midfield so far, Scarborough.
Yeah, Michael Duckworth pokes the ball forward and hooks up with Sam Reid on the edge of the box on the right side. Just shifts the ball. Sam Reid. Referee has a close look at that one as Sam Reid went to ground, but it looked to me as though the Marine player made contact with the ball. Reid back in possession, but called offside by the linesman on the far side.
Well, I've seen him given, yep, but I'm not sure that he got up quite a bit of the ball there, the Marine defender, to be honest with you. I think it's the right call from the referee, but better from Scarborough. You know, I think they need to get the ball into Sam Reid and Harry Green and let them run at the back line, because, you know, they've had it comfortable so far, Marine.
Yeah, it was right on the spot, was referee Wilson.
Yeah.
It was no more than 3 or 4 metres away to make the call.
Yeah, it was a good decision, and
that ball's gone a long way. It's gone to Andy Scarisbrick, big chance, and lofts the ball over the bar. Ball drifted long into the D on the edge of the penalty area. Scarisbrick got on it, controlled the ball, but then lofted it over the crossbar. And a chance then for 2-0 for Marine, Neil.
Yeah, that was a great opportunity. I mean, it was more poor defensive play from Maltby and Wellajai that let him get that space, but he found himself in between the pair of them. Ball sat up lovely, his first touch was good, and but he just couldn't keep his shot down, and he cleared the bar. But another opportunity for Marine, been the better side so far.
Yeah, just after the half hour here at the Sports Village, Marine fans have found their voice now behind the sticks, away to behind the goal, away to our left. Scarborough just need to find a little bit of inspiration from somewhere. Will it come from that man, Harry Green? Just losing out again then, and berates himself at losing the ball. Very much a confidence player as well, isn't he, Neil?
Yeah, he is, and I think anything, you need to supply a ball, you need service, you know, and we haven't seen too much of Alex Brown, which I can't say I've said that often this season. He's been outstanding, but I think both fullbacks have been quiet. I think they've done their homework, Marine. They've made sure they're picked up in them areas. They're stopping the fullbacks getting the balls, which cuts out the supply to the wide players. And it's as quiet as I've seen Scarborough be, to be honest with you.
Yeah, they've flooded that midfield, haven't they, Marine? When you look at it, they've really only stuck Grant up front. OK, Sinclair Smith's playing wide, but he's dropping back deep as well when Marine are out of possession. Yeah,
but there's a great work ethic about them as well. You know, it's almost like they've got an extra man on the pitch.
That's a great flick. On to Dom Tier, chance for Harry Green on the left side of the box, tries to curl it round the Marine defender, and it ricochets off the player, comes back out. Alex Purver goes right with the ball. Sam Reid takes the full back on again out there. Again, just rolling the ball between his feet, looking for the opportunity, comes into the box. Ball runs loose, but it's picked up by the Marine defender, Bailey Sloan, and cleared. And then Hazelhurst slams into the back of Alex Purver. Scarborough fans thinking that should have been pulled for a foul. Referee Wilson thinking differently. A long ball forward, and Marine 3-on-3 here. Gregson looks for options, cuts back inside, tries to loft the ball over there to Welledji, and couldn't quite clear him. He was aiming for Grant, the centre forward down there, but the ball flipped off Welledji's head and dropped into the possession of Ryan Whitley, the Scarborough keeper. It's still 1-0 to Marine. That goal from the centre-back, James Butler. Neil, you were going to say?
Yeah, I was just saying it's been better from Scarborough the last 3 or 4 minutes. They're starting to get on the ball, move it a bit quicker. They've had better movement going forward, starting to ask a question or two. You know, I think what they've done is, I don't know whether they've took this side for granted a little bit, but you know, they've been really full of energy. Marine, very aggressive in midfield, but fair, pinching possession, playing forward, looking like a side that's capable of getting a goal.
Yeah, I think it's fair to say Scarborough have lacked a sense of urgency in this opening half hour. And I think possibly that Marine have fed off that.
Definitely, yeah. And if you look at, just looking there now, that Scarborough just gone down.
Yeah, it took a knock when he cleared the crossbar with that opportunity 3 or 4 minutes ago.
Yeah, they could do with him staying on if they're going to do anything this afternoon. He's looked the part early on in this game.
Yeah, Andy Scarborough just goes to the turf and the physio goes out. And one of the press corps from Marine was saying a lot of these players tend to stay around the same area and play between a number of clubs. That's certainly been the case with Andy Scarborough because he was with Bootle and he was with Prescott Cables, who are both sides over there in Cheshire. Gets up and just
I think
hobbling a bit on that right leg. Think he's okay.
Yeah, he's an important player from just going off what I've seen early on in this game. I don't know if this is his day run, Andy. He's making his way over.
Yeah, you may be right. Yeah, I thought he was okay to carry on, but he's coming towards the bench.
He's just come back from injury as well, talking to some of the Marine lads here that are doing the commentary.
That's going to be a big miss for him because he's been bright and sparky in this opening half hour or so, driving Marine forward. But he's off. Just trying to see who it is coming on. It's Owen Robinson, the former player, former Sunderland player. He's not missed too many games this season, 40 appearances, Owen Robinson, so he certainly won't be lacking a bit of match fitness.
Yeah, I think that's a big loss for him. Just looking at what he's done, what he's given him, he's just played in behind the front two, hasn't he?
Yep.
For the lack of mobility that Grant has, I think he makes up for that. Scarborough gets past him, supports him well. It's definitely there's an eye for goal.
Ball lofted forward there in the direction of Sinclair Smith down that left side. Scarborough cleared it initially, but it's back at Sinclair Smith's feet again. And Marine now with that 1-0 lead, just in control of the game. Again, angled cross into the box, picked out the air by Ryan Whitley. And Scarborough, just as I say, looking for a little bit of inspiration from somewhere.
Yeah, there's not that zip about the player that you usually get. Players having 4 and 5 touches on the ball, so they're not sure of the pass forward. Where when they're playing well and when they're on the game, it's all on 1 and 2 touch and the balls move quickly and they go through the opposition quick.
2 Scarborough wide men have switched, Neil.
Yeah.
Reid over on the left side now. Harry Wilson's gone to the right just to try and get a little bit of joy. Ball knocked forward in the direction of Grant, missed his header, but ball eventually ends up at his feet. And they recycle again to Whelan. Whelan pushes the ball forward to Hazelhurst, who's been very influential in this first half. And Robinson gets his first effective touch of the ball down the right side. Alex Brown makes the tackle, ball goes out for a throw into Marine. And they still lead by that 1 goal scored by the centre-back from the corner, James Butler, on 27 minutes.
I tell you what they're really good at. They get bodies round that second phase. Blue shirt swarming round that ball.
Good work here between Reid and Green that brings Scarborough into the Marine half of the field. And then feet just slipped away from him, Sam Reid, as he tried to accelerate past the full-back. But Scarborough still in possession. Harry Green again looks for Luca Colville, and a bit of a misunderstanding between the two of them. It's going to be a free kick. Alex Purver just a little bit too much in that challenge.
Yeah, they've got support to Grant really well, haven't they?
Yep.
Whether it be Gregson or Hazelhurst from midfield, Whelan backing it up, they've looked good. And to be fair to Grant, he's got older stuff. And obviously he's getting towards the back end of his career now, but he's still mobile enough to cause a problem.
Yeah, and he's got mobile players around him. That's the point you were making, Neil, that they do get there very quickly in support.
Yeah, they do. It's a test. It's a test for Scarborough. 2 of the more senior players out.
Free kick, chip forward. Gregson tries to put a head on it on the right side of the box, not able to do so. Ball goes out. Scarborough goal kick.
I'm just thinking from John O'Green's point of view, half time, he won't be happy with this, as the level of performance. The level of performance is far better than this.
Yeah,
I'm sure that's something that will be discussed at half time.
One or two players that have been pretty anonymous in this first half when you look around. You mentioned Dom Tier, that's not really had very much influence on the game at all, and Lucas, another one that just doesn't seem to have got into the game.
No.
Alex Brown, that was a good throw out from Ryan Whitley that set Brown free, and then he gets nudged over by the tackle of Whelan right in front of the referee.
Yeah, Whelan's been good in midfield, as a sitting midfield player, broke things up, been ably assisted by Gregson and Hazelhurst in there. They're a decent midfield three, very mobile.
Started his career in Ireland with a team called Cabin Teely, and I have absolutely I have a fair knowledge of Ireland, having spent some time over there, but I've never heard of that place.
Did well to pronounce it, mate.
So, Scarborough free kick, 30 metres out, and Luca Colville going to curl this in off the left foot. Maltby up there, Welledji up there. Can Scarborough strike back? It was a good curling ball, but it was just a little bit forward of the Scarborough players who might have got a head on it. And the ball eventually just fades out for a goal kick, despite Harry Green trying to rescue it.
Yeah, we're just looking at Stephen Walker. He's been a shadow of himself, really. He's not had much of the service. He's not offered too much. He hasn't really got the energy to have the work ethic to go and press and win his own ball. I just feel that they're missing Big Bennett up front. That particularly, looking at that free kick there, flashed across the goal, it'd have been on the end of that.
Yeah, I think the difference between the two players when you look at it, Neil, is that he's not scaring any of these Marine defenders, isn't Stephen Walker, whereas with Bennett they'd be looking over the shoulder and thinking, oh God, here he comes again.
Yeah, exactly.
Belting them around a bit.
Yeah, similar to Grant. I mean, Grant's done something similar. He's got into Mackenzie Maltby and Welledji, and he's roughed them up a little bit, and he's got the better of them. But they need that. They need that player that can hold the ball and bring other people into the game on that front line, and they just haven't got that today.
Yep, just too many players at the moment in this Scarborough side that are just a little bit too passive. And certainly, I think Jonathan Green in at half-time will be getting into him a little bit and asking for more in the second half once we get there. Here's Mackenzie Maltby. Just outside his own box, goes wide to Alex Brown, takes a return pass. Looks forward for options, tries to drift the ball into Dom Tier. Nice little headed ball inside to Stephen Reid, but he gets too much on it, and the ball drifts away from him. Sam Reid, not Stephen Reid, and then Kieran Welledji, powerful run forward, and then tries to put the pass into Walker, and Walker had gone the other way, and again just a little misunderstanding because it was good work initially by Welledji. They look for Walker again, but again he's beaten to the ball, this time by Wardle, the former Radcliffe player. You can feel the frustration amongst the Scarborough fans as well at the moment, Neil.
Yeah, well look, I mean, the elephant in the room, the obvious thing is that, they're missing that physicality both at the back and up front, and it's definitely hindering them. You can see that they don't look the same side. They're not able to get the ball wide. I've got to give Marine some credit here. They've cut the passing line off into the wide players. Good play.
Scarborough at the moment just passing the ball around at the back. They go back to Whitley again. He goes to Welledji on the right side. He has to put the foot on the ball. Lateral pass to Mackenzie Maltby. Looks left. Drills the ball forward. But the goal scorer cuts the ball out with his head. Dom Tier gets a foot in to Harry Green. Harry Green goes wide to Matty Duckworth. Michael Duckworth, sorry. Perver, ball into feet. Duckworth again getting forward. Duckworth still up there. Scarborough with plenty of players forward here. Harry Green in the centre of the field, goes left side to Reid in the 31 shirt. Has to come back to Alex Brown. He's going to deliver it first time. It is a great ball and it's a great goal, and it is Stephen Walker that flashes into the game. Great delivery, absolutely superb delivery from Alex Brown. Just knocked it in first time. Ball curled straight onto the head of Stephen Walker, around about the penalty spot, and his header flew past Metcalf into the net, and Scarborough level, and they found a little bit of magic, Neil.
Yeah, it's all about the ball into the box. Alex Brown, and we've seen him loads of times putting balls in the box like that. It's such good quality, and he times his run well this time, to be fair. Stephen Walker isn't stood in the box, he leaves his marker, steps across him and thunders the ball past Metcalf in goal. There's absolutely no chance. And it's probably come at a time when they're just starting to find their feet a little bit more with the passing. They've had more entries into the final third as regards creating opportunities. They probably deserve the equaliser.
Yeah, Stephen Walker it is. The former England under 17, 18, 19 international. Second goal of the season for Scarborough. And it was a cracking header from an absolutely superb ball in from Alex Brown. It always amazes me that referees ignore the shirt pull like that, Neil. It was the central defender Butler had more of Stephen Walker's shirt than Stephen Walker had there.
Yeah.
But referee who was only 2 or 3 metres away just completely ignored it.
I know, and I think that's in general as well, isn't it, Andy? Because I think the referee's done quite well today. He's let the game flow. We've not seen too much of him, which is testament of a good refereeing performance.
Yeah, I think it's just inherent in the game. I'm sure it
absolutely.
is, and in the referee's psyche that you know, defenders are allowed to get away with things that forwards wouldn't. You know, if the boot had been on the other foot. Oh, Alex Perver just might see yellow here. He did. It was a late challenge on Owen Robinson midway into the Scarborough half of the field. Just lashed a foot at him and caught the Marine player, and straight away referee Wilson has the yellow card out for Alex Perver. I'm just going to say about the goal as well, it's a good time to strike just before half time, Neil. Going to go in on a level footing. Whether that'll pay for over some of our thoughts on the first half and on that Scarborough performance, I'm not sure, but well, look, I mean, it's come off the back of maybe an improvement over 5-10 minutes, a steady improvement, but you know, the initial bit has not been good enough. I don't think, you know, and John Hall can't think any different, I would have thought. You know, and I think he'd be letting them know that at half time. 34 metres out, very central. Hazelhurst, will he fancy a dip? 3 men in the Scarborough wall. Yeah, he's going to hit it. And it bounces one, skips very easily into the possession of Ryan Whitley.
Yeah, it's got to be better than that to beat Ryan Whitley from there, I would have thought. There's no power in it. But still good goalkeeping because it hit the target.
Yeah, it just didn't seem to cheat as possibly he'd have liked. Whitley just slips as he punches that ball forward, and then Marine trying to nip the ball in over the back. Whitley outside his box, clears upfield. Butler and Walker, the Scarborough goal scorer, contesting that ball as referee Tom Wilson brings the first half down here to a close, and Scarborough getting the equaliser just minutes before the interval after a fairly lacklustre performance in many ways in that first half, but it was a good time to score, and it was a good goal when it came, Neil Redfern.
Yeah, it was a good goal, and like you say, it did come on the back of maybe 4 or 5 minutes improvement, far more positive going forward. Good entries into that final third, and it was a great ball from Alex Brown, who's been a consistent performer this season, with his left foot, just curled it across the back line, and it was timed his run superbly well. Stephen Walker's been a little bit hit and miss in this game, hasn't had the service to be fair, but from that ball in, his movement was superb, and his header was just flashed past the goalkeeper Metcalf, and it came at probably the time Scarborough did deserve the equaliser.
Yeah, so there we are at half time here at the Scarborough Sports Village in National League North. It is Scarborough 1, Marine 1, and we wait to see what unfolds in the second half. But in the meantime, we'll hand you back to Pete in the studio.
Georgie Spanswick at breakfast.
I make no secret of the fact that I've got a bit of a thing for the actor James Norton from Malton, a woman of my age now. It's not acceptable, really, is it?
Morning, how you doing?
Oh,
Georgie, it's lovely to meet you.
Can you see me on the Zoom? Oh my word, you're looking lovely.
I'm not really. I'm in a car park on the A1 driving down to London. I had to leave Yorkshire in the beautiful sunshine. Someone said it was your birthday, quite a big birthday recently.
Oh yeah, I'm old enough to be your mother.
Wow.
Cheers, love.
No way. Don't look a day after 35.
Thank you so much. And the next time you get your eyes tested, make sure they do a better job than that.
Georgie Spanswick.
Weekdays from 6.
BBC Radio York. BBC Radio York Sport.
BBC Radio York Sport, Pete Spencer here in the studio. So second half commentary to come of Scarborough Athletic against Marine with Andy Atkinson and Neil Redfern. But at half time, it's Scarborough Athletic 1, Marine 1. James Butler with a header from a corner from Hazelhurst for the opening goal, and then Stephen Walker with the injury for Borough, a header after a ball into the box from Alex Brown in stoppage time at the end of the first half. Scarborough Athletic without Will Thornton today due to injury and Richie Bennett due to suspension. It's not quite half time yet between AFC Wimbledon and Harrogate Town. When it is, we'll be across to Plough Lane to get a half-time report from Tim Steer. But in the meantime, we'll run you through some of these scores throughout the leagues elsewhere. Just give you a quick update on the cricket at the moment between Hampshire and Yorkshire. Day 2 of Yorkshire's opening county championship Division 1 game. Hampshire today were all out for 249, so Yorkshire now in their second innings and they are 88 for 3. So Yorkshire trail Hampshire by 40 runs with 7 wickets remaining. Yorkshire only able to get to 121 all out after just 34.4 overs. They won the toss and they put themselves into bat, but a disappointing return there for Johnny Bairstow in that opening day for Yorkshire. So that's how Yorkshire are going at the moment. Let's have a look at some of the scores elsewhere around the leagues as it stands, starting with the Premier League. And we know from our early kickoff that Everton drew 1-1 with Arsenal. So these are now the 3 o'clock games. Crystal Palace 1, Brighton and Hove Albion 1, Ipswich Town 1, Wolverhampton Wanderers 0, West Ham 0, AFC Bournemouth 1, and Aston Villa against Nottingham Forest is the late game at 5:30 today. Early kickoffs, 3 of them in the Championship, finished Coventry City 1, Burnley 2, Luton Town 1, Leeds United 1, and West Bromwich Albion 0, Sunderland 1. So now half-time scores, Bristol City 2, Watford 0, Millwall 0, Portsmouth 0, Oxford United 1, Sheffield United 0. Plymouth Argyle 2, Norwich City 0, Preston North End 1, Stoke City 0, Queen's Park Rangers 0, Cardiff 0, Sheffield Wednesday 0, Hull City 0, and Swansea City 0, Derby County 0. 2 early kickoffs in League 1 finished Reading 1, Wycombe Wanderers 0, and Wrexham 3, Burton Albion 0. So half-time scores at the moment as it stands are as follows: Birmingham City 1, Barnsley 1. That's 9 minutes into injury time at the end of the first half. Bolton Wanderers 0, Bristol Rovers 0, Charlton Athletic 0, Lincoln City 1, Exeter City 0, Stockport County 2, Huddersfield 0, Mansfield Town 0, Leyton Orient 0, Wigan Athletic 0, Peterborough 0, Northampton Town 3, Rotherham United 1, Blackpool 0, Shrewsbury Town 0, Cambridge United 0, and Stevenage 1, Crawley Town 0. So 3 early kickoffs in League 2 finished as follows: Cheltenham Town 0, Doncaster Rovers 2, Walsall 2, Port Vale 3, and Tranmere Rovers 4, Chesterfield 0. So keeping an eye on that Tranmere result, not only because of Harrogate Town's victory over them on Tuesday night, but they've bounced back in some style, but also we'll have a look in a minute about what that means for the league table. So as it stands, these are now half-time scores: Bradford City 1, Crewe Alexandra 0, Bromley 1, Accrington Stanley 0, Carlisle 1, Newport County 2. So good news for Harrogate Town there, with Carlisle losing at home to Newport County. Colchester United 1, Notts County 0, Fleetwood 0, Swindon Town 1, Grimsby 1, Morecambe 1, MK Dons 0, Barrow 1, Salford City 2, Gillingham 2. So then in the National League, we know our early kickoff on FM BBC Sounds and DAB Digital Radio finished with a 3-1 win away at AFC Fylde for York City. So the halftime scores are Altrincham 1, Yeovil Town 1, Braintree 1, Barnet 1, Gateshead 2, Dagenham and Redbridge 0, Hartlepool United 1, Ebbsfleet 0, Maidenhead 1, Tamworth 0, Sutton 0, Southend 1, Wealdstone 1, Forest Green 1, and the late kick-off today is between Eastleigh and AFC Halifax Town. Let's just round things up with the half-times in the National League North, where it's Alfreton 0, Rushall Olympic 1, Buxton 0, Kidderminster 0, Curzon 1, Warrington 0, Darlington 2, Farsley Celtic 1, Hereford 0, Chester 1, Kings Lynn 0, Chorley 0, Peterborough Sports 0, Leamington 0, Radcliffe 0, Scunthorpe United 0, Scarborough 1, Marine 1 we know about, South Shields 0, Brackley Town 1 and Southport 0, Oxford City 0. So now you're up to date with all of the scores as it stands there at half-time.
Springtime is here, which means the trowels are out and the gardening gloves are on. As the country's most green-fingered florists head to Harrogate. That's right, the Harrogate Spring Flower Show is back for 2025.
Oh, it's so exciting. It is so exciting.
And all next week, we're giving you the chance to win tickets.
The smell, even before you walk into the hall, is just phenomenal.
Your first chance to win is on Monday morning after 7:30 with Georgie at breakfast. Then again after 11 o'clock with Joe and Anita.
Win tickets to the Harrogate Spring Flower Show.
BBC Radio York.
It is BBC Radio York. Get away, fly. Half-time then at Plough Lane between AFC Wimbledon and Harrogate Town. How's it going, Tim Steer?
Well, after the incredible match that we saw on Tuesday night, 3-2 against Tranmere Rovers, and all the excitement, the end-to-end action, 0-0, and it's very much been the opposite, really, of what it was on Tuesday night. A game of very few chances, quite scrappy at times in the middle of the park. Both teams really struggling to get hold of the ball and keep possession and really create too many clear-cut opportunities. Probably the best two chances of the game came in the final 5 or so minutes of the first half, where James Belshaw produced another world-class save 2 minutes before the break. It was a free kick down the left-hand side from Jake Reeves into the area, and it was a header from Riley Harbottle. He couldn't have done much more. He powered a header from 8 yards straight at James Belshaw, and he somehow tipped it onto the crossbar, and then Harrogate Town were able to clear their lines. It was a truly world-class stop again from the Harrogate Town goalkeeper that no doubt kept the scoreline at 0-0. Then 2 minutes later, Harrogate Town's best chance really falling after Tom Curzon's laid a ball forward down the right-hand side for Josh March in the right side of the box. March hit it first time, but it was low and a relatively comfortable save for Owen Goodman in the AFC Wimbledon goal. Wimbledon probably ended that first half stronger of the two teams, but I don't think either manager will be too pleased with what they've seen from their side, particularly Johnny Jackson and his AFC Wimbledon side, because for Simon Weir and for Harrogate Town, if they were to come away from here with the point, they certainly wouldn't complain at it, but I think there's a lot more that both these teams could contribute in this game. Half-time score, AFC Wimbledon 0, Harrogate Town 0.
Thank you, Tim Steer. Tim, just stay there for a second. I've just got a text come through about that save for Belshaw. Put your name on your text. This is coming from 463. Great save from Belshaw, an acrobatic clearance to thwart the Dons' best chance, but Harrogate good value for the 0-0 so far. Is that a comment you'd agree with, Tim?
Yeah, I think so overall. I mean, without a doubt, James Belshaw's save was just phenomenal again. Unlike against Tranmere where he had to dive, as I say, this header was straight at him. But because it came at him at such a speed, it was purely reactionary. He just had to get his hands to it and then somehow tip it onto the crossbar. It was a remarkable stop in that sense. But overall, I'd agree with the texter. Yeah, I think 0-0's a pretty fair reflection on that first half, because, as I say, both teams have really struggled to make a mark, really get a grip on the game. Wimbledon, as I say, probably growing into that game a bit more as the first half wore on. But overall, I think Harrogate are more than good value for that point in the end. I suppose the only thing Bolly is just to create a few more chances themselves.
Yeah, scrappy affair that probably came to life in the last sort of 5 minutes leading up to half-time. Another unbelievable stop from Belshaw, showing why he's probably the best goalkeeper in League Two. And then, Josh March at the other end with a chance to be disappointed. He's not been able to find the corner or generate a bit more power on his shot. But yeah, Simon Weaver will be looking for a little bit more quality on the ball to try and create a few more chances in the second half. I must admit, a little bit disappointed in Wimbledon. I expected a bit more from them. I expected a bit more of a livelier atmosphere as well. Kind of surprised with a subdued atmosphere in the stadium, given that they're in the playoffs and, you know, hoping to achieve a top 3 position in League Two. So slightly disappointed in them, but hopefully it'll be a bit more entertaining second half.
Yeah, I think they are good value for the points at the minute, Pete, but you do get the feeling the way that both these teams are playing that either one of them could go on and win this with just that little bit more quality in the game.
Okay, chaps, we'll be back with you for second half commentary shortly on DAB Digital Radio. That's Tim Steer and Paul Bolland for us at Plough Lane for AFC Wimbledon against Harrogate Town. Some more half-time scores for you in the Northern Counties East Football League Premier Division. It's Pickering Town 1, Eckershill United 1. George Brown with the equaliser for Pickering in that one. Goalless between Tadcaster Albion and Beverley Town. It's Winterton Rangers 1, Knaresborough Town 1. Ben Parks with the equaliser for Borough in that one. In Division 1, Harrogate Railway 0, Maltby Main 1. Dronfield Town 1, Selby Town 2. Finley Wade and Matty Dawes with the goals for Selby away from home. And it's goalless in the Northern League between Blythe Town and North Allerton Town. So it's just gone 4 o'clock. Let's get you a quick check on the roads. Where it's slow on the A1 into the roadworks at Wentbridge. In Harrogate, it's also slow on Wetherby Road between the Kestrel roundabout and the Woodland pub traffic lights. In Harrogate, it's slow on Wetherby Road and Skipton Road around the Empress roundabout. A few roadworks to be aware of at the moment in Colburn. There are temporary lights on Catterick Road from the A6055 to Cookson Way because of roadworks. In Knaresborough, there are temporary lights on the A59 York Road near Neederdale Drive because of watermain works. And in Bedale, there are temporary lights on Bedale Road between Sandhill Lane and Jubilee Road because of electricity work. So that's your travel news for North Yorkshire. Don't forget, if you see a problem out and about on the roads and it's safe and legal, you can let us know about it by calling us on 0800 111 4849.
BBC Radio York Sport. Georgie Spanswick at breakfast.
I make no secret of the fact that I've got a bit of a thing for the actor James Norton from Malton, a woman of my age now. It's not acceptable, really, is it?
Morning, how you doing?
Oh,
Georgie, it's lovely to meet you.
Can you see me on the Zoom? Oh my word, you're looking lovely.
I'm not really. I'm in a car park on the A1 driving down to London. I had to leave Yorkshire in the beautiful sunshine. Someone said it was your birthday, quite a big birthday.
Oh yeah, I'm old enough to be your mother.
Wow.
Cheers, love.
No way. Don't look a day after 35.
Thank you so much. And the next time you get your eyes tested, make sure they do a better job than that.
Georgie Spanswick.
Weekdays from 6.
BBC Radio York.
BBC Radio York. So we've got a slight stagger between our two teams about to get back underway. I believe they're ready to get underway again between Scarborough Athletic and Marine. So we'll hand you over to Andy Atkinson at the Scarborough Sports Village, and then when they're ready to get underway between AFC Wimbledon and Harrogate Town, we'll get Andy to split off the commentary for you. But enjoy second half commentary with Andy Atkinson and Neil Redfern.
Yeah, thanks very much, Pete. Yeah, it's gone very, very chilly down here at the Scarborough Sports Village, but 1 apiece at half time. 27 minutes it was when Marine got that goal. Headed both goals very, very similar in many ways. Just very good headers from within the box. Marines came from a corner. Their central defender, James Butler, got that one, and Scarborough replied. Just before half-time, great first-time cross from Alex Brown, curled into the box, and Stephen Walker got his head to the ball and gave the Marine keeper no chance. We are just about ready to go. Scarborough out a little bit after the Marine side, but just quickly looking round to see if we've got any changes in the Scarborough lineup, and I can't see any at the moment. But I think Jonathan Greening will be hoping for a little bit better performance than Scarborough showed in the first half. Won't he, Neil Redford?
Yeah, just energy, I think. A little bit more devil, a little bit more drive, a little bit more quality going forward. Having said that, towards the end of the first half, having been 1-0 down, they probably deserve the equaliser. They had a 5-10 minute spell where they started getting on top, Scarborough, so they need to carry that momentum into this half now.
Yeah, just need to push on from there. Mackenzie Maltby just ahead of us, starting the second half, just making a few points to his colleagues around him. And it is going to be Marine, the visitors, to kick off the second half. Referee Wilson blows his whistle. We're underway. Ball lofted forward by Whelan, the central midfield player. And then Mackenzie Maltby heads clear towards halfway. Stephen Walker, the Scarborough goalkeeper, that's a goal scorer. Sorry, tries to get ahead on it. And then Sam Reid just picks up possession to Alex Perver on the edge of the centre circle. Ball back to Mackenzie Maltby. And Scarborough just look to try and control possession in this second half and work off the back of that. Perver as busy as ever. And with the score here 1 each, we can go back to the Harrogate game. Those of you who want to pick up Harrogate's game down at Plough Lane AFC Wimbledon, you can rejoin Tim Steer for commentary. And Scarborough down with Michael Duckworth down the right channel. Then Perver again. Such a busy player, Alex Perver. Chips the ball forward, tries to roll it down the right wing. Came off a Marine foot and goes out for a throw-in.
Yeah, it's a better start from Scarborough in this half. A little bit more urgency, a bit more zip to the passing.
Throw into the area. Stephen Walker manages to hang onto the ball, gets it back to Harry Green. He receives it back wide on the right, makes ground into the area. Lovely little flick, back heel to Duckworth. Duckworth tries to put the cross in, but it's blocked by a Marine defender. Cleared to the edge of the box. Harry Green now puts the cross back in, and just about pushed past his own post by Josh Wardle, the central defender, facing his own goal, and it would have been very easy to have sliced that into his own net, Neil.
Yeah, definitely. It's a much better start, this, from Scarborough. It's a great little back heel from Stephen Walker to find his teammate. Such good disguise on that in the penalty area where it's tight, lots of bodies.
Corner to come in from the right side for Scarborough. Have they got the men up from the connection? They have indeed, and it's Stephen Walker again. Ball swung to the far post. It was Luca Colville with the corner, and Stephen Walker was completely unmarked. And again, just great purchase on the header, and it flew past Metcalf in the Marine goal. And Jonathan Greening's got the start he wanted to the second half, Neil.
Yeah, I mean, the start in itself in general has been 2 grades up from that first half performance. Much more urgency, won the corner, great ball in from the corner, whipped in superbly well, and he just lays out with the back stick, Stephen Walker. He times his run brilliantly. That's twice now. He's been really aware of getting across defenders when the ball comes in the box. It's great striker play. He's got his 2 goals to put his team in front. Brilliant header.
Yeah, it was such a powerful header. And some sloppy marking by Marine. That ball comes forward in there. Kieran Welledji left it to Ryan Whitley, and then realised that the ball, Ryan Whitley wasn't going to be able to catch it. It had gone outside the penalty area, and Scarborough keepers had to put it out. So a chance here to press for Marine in the form of Bailey Sloan. The left back is going to try and put the throw into the box. Push and shove going on between Mackenzie Maltby and Butler, the Marine scorer. Gregson, edge of the box, finds Robinson. Robinson finds a bit of space, crosses the ball into the middle. Chance here for Butler.
Great
blocked by Maltby. Mackenzie Maltby, who was between the Marine player and the goal, but Marine press again. Robinson left side, and cleared by Kieran Welledji, and then driven hard into the box to Sloan. Great save by Ryan Whitley from absolutely point blank range there. Dived at the feet of Wardle and managed to block that in the 6-yard box, and scares there for Scarborough, but they've survived, Neil.
Yeah, definitely. It's a great reaction from Marine, from going behind, really on the front foot, keeping the ball alive in and around the box. And as that ball drops to the striker there, it's a fantastic save from Ryan Whitley. Just spreads himself bravely in front of the big front man. Good save. All the goal to shoot at there, Grant, but fantastic save from Whitley.
Yep, so Scarborough still 2-1 ahead, but by the skin of the teeth after that one. And I think we've probably had more enterprising play in the first 5 or 6 minutes of the second half than we had all that first half, Neil.
Yeah, definitely. It's triggered Marine, Scarborough going in front, with that second goal. It's a great reaction from them, but really well weathered from Scarborough.
Yeah, certainly a very good game at the moment. Grant trying to control that ball, but Domtier nips in, hooks the ball away downfield. And Sloan under pressure from Harry Green, who wasn't letting him have an easy time of that one. Colville manages to get the ball on. Walker, great ball into the left side of the box. Sam Reid thought about the shot and then realised the angle was too acute. And just recycles the ball, looking for the cross. Chips the cross in. Chance here for Walker for the hat-trick. Couldn't get on the end of it. And the ball cleared by Marine. And Scarborough, in this half, look dangerous every time they get the ball close to the Marine goal, Neil.
Yeah, that man, Sam Reid again, doing some great work in wide positions. Just twists and turns and finds half a yard. Clips a great ball in with his left.
That's a long crossfield ball towards Harry Green down the right side, but just too much on it for him. It runs out for the Marine goal kick.
Yeah, he's quick, but he's not that quick. I don't think he'd have caught that on a motorbike.
53 minutes gone down here at the Sports Village, and it is Scarborough Athletic 2, Marine AFC 1. You're listening to BBC Radio York, following Scarborough season long, and just 4 left for Scarborough after today. They're at home to Buxton next week, and of course we'll have full commentary of that game. Ball spread wide, Sam Reid again. He's had a busy game, has Sam Reid.
Yeah, he's given him a little bit of quality as well. Every now and again he goes past his man and puts a decent ball in the box. Got a great left foot.
Yeah, on loan from Sheffield Wednesday. Spent some time on loan at Boston, I think, Boston United last year.
Yeah, he's been a great addition. They've used the low market really well, Jono. Brought some good young players in.
Domtier battling on. It's Luca Colville battling away in midfield, trying to get on the end of the ball. That's a Peels fan ball. To be honest, I thought both players got a hand on it. It's Sinclair Smith, left side of the attack for Marine. Cuts back, tries to cut back inside Michael Duckworth, and the ball goes out for a corner off Duckworth.
Good defending from Duckworth, to be fair. Stood up well. It's good forward play, taking his man on really positively.
Yeah, went in and out, didn't he? And
Sinclair Smith
just trying to wrong foot Duckworth. Corner. Hazelhurst again with the delivery. He was the man who knocked the ball in for the goal in the first half, but Ryan Whitley absolutely decisive and gets the ball quickly downfield, but he's just got too much on it with his distribution. Stephen Walker was racing away into the Marine half of the field down the left side, and Whitley saw him, tried to deliver the ball, but just a little bit too much oomph on it.
Yeah, I think there's a bit of a breeze blowing that way as well, Andy, to be honest with you. It just picked up speed from the turf.
Yeah.
And he is quick, to be fair, Walker, but that ball really sped on.
So throw in to Marine, currently trailing 2-1 after being 1-0 ahead. Lovely little cushion ball inside there from Walker. And Harry Green on the edge of the box, thought about the shot, comes back inside. Colville tries to bend one, just past the post.
That's a great effort. I'm expecting that to nestle in the net, Andy.
it was a lovely bit of work from Harry Green as well, because he was going to pull the trigger and then realised he was being closed down, but he found Luca Colville in a little bit of space, didn't he? Just enough time to get the shot away.
Yeah, good deception. He almost threw 2 defenders out of the way, just giving Colville the time to set it on his left foot. Struck it beautifully.
Scarborough almost adding to their 2-1 lead. Sinclair Smith again. Now that cross is far too close to Ryan Whitley. And the former York City keeper distributes the ball out to Alex Brown on the far side, but Scarborough player down away to our left.
I think he's just gone over his ankle there, Michael Duckworth at right back.
Yes,
he's all just come back from injury. He's been out injured on and off this season. Been a tough season for him.
Yeah, another player who's a good servant at York City. And the Scarborough players warming up just at the side of him, just inquiring as to his well-being from a metre or two away. Louis Maloney down there, Will Thornton, Jack Waldron. And sat up at the moment, Michael Duckworth. But we've had a really, really entertaining opening 12 minutes to this second half.
Yeah, definitely. I think it's been a credit to both sides. You know, belies the level, to be honest with you. It's been some good, really good quality. A lot more energy. Good reactions from Marine as well, from losing the lead then going behind. And
yeah, they're certainly not giving this one up.
No, absolutely not.
Michael Duckworth down in front of us at the moment, feeling his left ankle, adjusting his boot. About to re-enter the fray after a bit of attention. Drop ball. And hooked downfield by Alex Brown. Wayland, big appeal for handball from the Scarborough fans on the far side. And then Mackenzie Maltby and Grant tangling. And that's a great challenge there from Mackenzie Maltby. Really strong challenge to ease Robinson off the ball as he broke into the box from that ball that cannoned about. And here's Domtier. Oh, penalty. Gotta be a penalty. Absolutely a penalty all day long. Domtier, nice trickery. Just eased the ball off his right foot. Changed direction, and that was too much for the Marine defender. And it is Butler, their goal scorer, who beats the defence, and he gets a yellow card from referee Wilson. But it is going to be a penalty to Scarborough and a chance to increase their lead. And Domtier, who went to the ground on 57 minutes.
I tell you what, it's a fantastic run.
It was a really driving run into the box from the left side, and they're going to give Stephen Walker the opportunity to get his hat-trick. He's planted the ball on the penalty spot, faced by Metcalf, the Marine goalkeeper, who's dodging about on his line at the moment. Stephen Walker just staring him down. Stephen Walker just rolls the ball into the corner of the net with the goalkeeper going the other way. And Stephen Walker has a hat-trick for Scarborough. It is Scarborough Athletic 3, Marine 1. Neil Cooley taken penalty.
Yeah, that'll do him the power of good, to be honest with you. He's played his part in the last 2-3 months since he's come in. But he's desperately been trying to get in amongst the goals, and scored his first goal maybe a couple of games ago, and to bag all 3 today, and they've all been quality finishes, you have to say, Andy. Both headers. I think the penalties just showed his ability and his quality, just to sit the goalkeeper down, send him the wrong way and put it in the back of the net.
Yeah, it was certainly cool. Keeper was doing everything he could to put him off, but he wasn't faced by it in any manner of means.
No, and I think it's come on the back of an upturn in this performance from Scarborough. Definitely had a word at half-time, Jono.
And a foul on Kieran Waleji. by, I think it's Grant, the centre forward. Referee just wants a word with him. It was clumsy, to say the least. And I think that's probably the point that referee Wilson's making to him. Gentleman down in front of us with a very forthright opinion of what the referee should have done. At 3-1, approaching the hour mark here. And what a turn around in the game, because half an hour in, Marine were the better side, Neil.
Yeah, they were. They were the first half. Well, definitely the first half an hour. You know, they were more urgent, more industrious. They passed the ball better, looked dangerous. But you've got to give this Scarborough side credit. You know, they never know when they're beaten. And it's a great from them.
Grant manages to work the ball through there and fouled by Mackenzie Maltby as he tried to make the block. And it's going to be a free kick to Marine just outside the box. Big centre forward going to ground.
Yeah, dangerous position. Good position for us. Somebody with a decent right foot to get it over the wall.
Yeah, it was Hazelhurst last time, but he certainly have to strike the ball better than he did last time. That was in the first half, and
yeah, he's not involved in this one.
No, he's walked away. Or maybe he's been told to walk away, Neil.
Yeah. Yeah.
So referee Wilson striding out where he wants the Scarborough wall. They're going to have to go back, and it's a 4-man wall at the moment, with the possibility of Michael Duckworth joining on the end.
Yeah, looks like Robinson fancies this, the sub.
Yeah, Owen Robinson looks as though he might have a dip from, you'd have to say, 23 metres probably. Former Sunderland player has a strike.
Ooh.
Just flicked off the top of the Scarborough wall and went over the bar.
Yeah, it's a decent effort. Good defensive wall.
I'm just looking to see which Scarborough defender's rubbing his head to see who it came off. But there's no one letting on there, Neil.
No, they did well, to be fair. They faced it up.
Yeah, did its job.
Yeah.
So Hazelhurst is involved in this one. He's going to cross and take the corner. And it was from that side he delivered the ball for Butler in the first half. Grant just jumps but made no connection, and Scarborough able to push the ball clear. Harry Green chasing out to the touchline on the near side, couldn't keep the ball in. Harry Green, did I say Harry Grant? Am I didn't? Harry Green.
Yeah, just needed a little bit of better pass, didn't he? Just sent him a little bit too wide, and he is quick, but he's always favourite to that.
Change coming from Marine. It's going to be James Brown who comes off.
Not feeling so good now.
And Adam Thomas. No, sorry. Yeah, he's maybe got a gig tonight. That's maybe why he has to come off early. Adam Thomas joining the action. Another player with came through the Stoke City Academy. Spent some time with Curzon Ashton. But it's desperate throw of the dice, really, in many ways, by Neil Young, the Marine coach, and another change as well. And yeah, Josh Shaw coming on.
Yeah, he's definitely bringing the changes, hasn't he?
And Bailey Sloan who comes off. Yeah, I mean, you know, it's no good leaving it till the last 10 minutes if you're going to change things.
Well, look, I mean, they're in a similar position to Scarborough. You know, they're not going to go down, they're not going to go up. You know, you can have a look at other players. If he feels they're not performing, there's a great chance.
Yeah, Josh Shaw, the player on loan from West Bromwich Albion, one of John O'Greening's former clubs. There was a little flick header there, but no power in it. Collected easily by Ryan Whitley. And then Alex Brown tries a little trick to go past the Marine player, gets knocked to the floor. Referee Wilson signals an advantage, and that advantage dissipates pretty quickly because Scarborough have lost the ball. But great running back there by Sam Reid to dispossess Hazelhurst. He's had a good work ethic in this game as Sam Reid. Been very, very busy. Ball out to the right side. Harry Green in the 10 shirt. Faced up by Shaw. Tall Rick whips the cross in and it goes out for the corner.
Yeah, I mean, they've definitely put this Marine side on the back foot second half, Scarborough. Every time they break and they win the ball and they raid so well with numbers. Get bodies in and around the box really, really quickly. Really stretching this Marine back line.
Neil Redfern in the summariser seat for us today. Great analysis of the action unfolding in front of us. We're about midway through the second half here with Scarborough with a handy 3-1 lead and a ball that curled in there from the corner by Luca Colville and skipped off the top of the crossbar.
I don't know if he meant that, but it was a dangerous ball in. I mean, it had the keeper all over the shop. I mean, he did well to keep his eye on that Metcalf, to be honest with you.
Yeah, it was a high looping corner and went completely over the top of the keeper.
Yeah.
It just bounced off the angle and out for the goal kick. So still 3-1 to Scarborough. And a late tackle on Alex Perver. And Perver was booked for a similar challenge in the first half, and that's what's irritating the Scarborough fans in front of us, because Gregson was late there on Perver and seems to have got away with it.
Yeah, I think if he'd have kept his mouth shut, Gregson, the referee would have just let that go as a free kick, but he's giving him a talking to by just gesticulating with his arms, throwing his arms up. It's a foul. It's a foul.
Free kick to Scarborough in their own half, 10 metres into Scarborough half of the field. Maltby tries to find Harry Green again on that right side. Ball drifted over there to Josh Shaw. Into Green, and he'll cause some problems from there, and they couldn't cope with him. They get the sandwich. They're filling in the sandwich, Harry Green. Yeah. And just on the edge of the box as well. Really committed the two defenders there, Neil, Harry Green.
Yeah, he did. Great player, because what he did, he just fetched the two defenders together and then just skipped through them. You know, neither committed to the challenge.
He's fallen awkwardly here as Harry Green. Either that or one of them stood on his fingers.
I think he might have got trodden on. I mean, he's that quick. He gets under your feet. Gets under your feet that quick. It's difficult to get your feet out of the way, but brilliant play by the wide player.
It was, and another opportunity for Scarborough, and it'll be Luca Colville looking for a quality delivery. And once more, Marine under threat. It was a two-man wall of two quite tall players, and now they've had a rejig, and there's a little fella come on the end there. Colville just out the box on the right side, drills it in hard, but it skips once off the turf into the hands of keeper Max Metcalf, who had it covered.
Yeah, it's good goalkeeping, to be fair, and because that skips up, you know, it can go either way. Kept his eye on it brilliantly.
Yeah, curious situation with Marine, because they had a goalkeeper on loan from Stockport, and he went back, and they got another one on loan from Stockport.
Yeah, well, this guy, I can't fault him with many of the goals, to be honest. He hadn't had much of a chance with them.
No, certainly hasn't. Two superb headers really from Stephen Walker, and then of course the penalty that was tucked away into the corner. Scarborough throw midway into their own half. Alex Brown throws it forward, and it's cleared away by Josh Wardle, the Marine central defender, under pressure from Stephen Walker down there. The watery sunshine has returned, and we're still frozen.
Still frozen. Yeah.
I keep watching this Marine player who's taking the throw. Oh, and chance here coming forward. It's Sinclair Smith's found a bit of space, and it's hit the post. Scarborough escape again. Ryan Whitley had absolutely no chance. It was an angle shot, left side to right. Looked initially as though it might sneak in the post, and then it didn't. And a free kick given to Scarborough over on the far side as Alex Brown is pushed to the ground. And the complaints of the number 7 for Marine, Adam Thomas, have earned him a yellow card.
Yeah, I mean, to be honest with you, he's got to be scoring from there. I mean, he made it difficult for himself by pushing it wider onto his left foot. I mean, as he was running through the middle, and it was clear, 10-15 yards clear, he'd all the goal to shoot at. Then,
yeah, he did. Initially, he came straight up the middle, didn't he? And then
narrowed his own angle down.
Whether he just fancied his left foot better or what, but
yeah.
I mean, Ryan Whitley wouldn't have got near it had it been on target. Just inside the post, but just a little bit too much on it, and Scarborough have escaped. It's still 3-1.
Yeah.
And we've a little bit less than 20 minutes to go here at the Sports Village. Scarborough looking to improve on that. 13th place in the table. Buxton at home next week. Spennymoor, Darlington, and I can't remember the other one of the games left.
Play.
Forward by Purver into Stephen Reed, and just nice and tidy back to Mackenzie Maltby, and the game management now, and just keeping a foot on the ball, keeping possession.
He's played well today, Purver, just sat in midfield, just knitted a lot of passes together, and he's broke a lot of things up, things you don't obviously see.
Yeah, it's one of those things in commentary that you could repeat over and over again. Foot in from Alex Purver. Foot in from Alex Purver. He just does seem to be everywhere at times. That's a terrible back pass and a chance for Grant, but Kieran Welledji pulls his fellow central defender out of a hole. It was a Mackenzie Maltby back pass towards his keeper that was undercooked. Grant got onto it, but Kieran Welledji got back and just flicked it off his toe out for a throw-in on the far side. Good covering work.
Yeah, brilliant. His pace, his athleticism got him back. Obviously, he was never going to beat Grant Grant was never going to beat him in a foot race, Welledji, but he was behind. He wasn't favourite.
Ball into the middle, another chance here for Marine. Sinclair Smith flicks it up in the air. Strong work from Michael Duckworth to resist that one. Gregson into Robinson onto the edge of the box, and Marine just having a little spell of pressure, but Scarborough have cleared the ball, and there's a chance on the break. Walker against Butler. Walker thought about the shot, puts the cross in, chested away, but back at Walker's feet again, and then once more Butler whips the ball off his toe. You've got to fancy Scarborough on the break, because Marine are pushing everything forward now, as they have to do, Neil.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, look, they've come and had a go here. You've got to give them credit to it, and it's been a cracking game to watch, particularly second half, but they've just had too much quality for them, Scarborough, at the moment.
Sinclair Smith again. Ball onto the outside the box. Shaw, good cross by Josh Shaw, the player on loan from West Brom, but nobody on the end of it. Ball goes out for a Scarborough throw-in in front of the Adverset on the first side, and on the far side, conversation going on between the Marine midfielder Gregson and the referee. Referee gives him a cuddle. Everything's all right again.
It's better than a card to cuddle.
yeah. So throw in Alex Brown again in those bright orange boots.
Oh, good play by Sam Reid. It's been good today.
Yeah, he has. He's been busy and still got energy to burn, chasing that ball down, closing the keeper down. Lovely control from Michael Duckworth in centre field. Just chested that ball back to his feet, cool as a cucumber. Alex Brown, ball back to Maltby again. Something a little under 15 to go as Scarborough coughed the ball up in midfield, but Dom Tier battles back,
well played.
Picks the ball up, good work. The two players combining there, Dom Tier and Harry Green, are the two that I fancied for goals today for Scarborough, but it's been the Stephen Walker show. Green, ball into the middle, chopped into his own net by James Butler. His day started well, but he's had a horror of a second half, gave away the penalty that Stephen Walker put into the net to make it 3-1 to Scarborough, and he's just chopped that cross from Harry Green past his own keeper, and Scarborough now lead by 4-1.
It just shows you the importance of crossing, getting balls in the box. Brilliant play by Harry Green, drops his shoulder, gets on his right foot, just whips it across that, on the floor, across that 6-yard box. the big centre back Butler's going back towards his own goal, and he's not in a good position at all, and he swings a foot at that and it ends up in the back of his neck, giving Metcalf absolutely no chance.
And you look at where that developed from, Neil. It developed from Dom Tier making a tackle 5 metres outside his own penalty area, bringing the ball forward, supplying Harry Green, and then Harry Green's cross ended in the own goal.
Definitely. He chased an attack down from Marine, Dom Tier, to be fair, and took the ball off Grant, and then the ball went a full 80 yards back up the pitch and ended with Green's cross in the back of the net.
So 4-1 to Scarborough here against Marine. Harry Green having his shirt pulled off his back, but manages to hang on to the ball, and then the ball knocked forward by Alex Perver, but goes out of range. Coming here, and it looks like Sam Reid's coming off and to be replaced by Lewis Maloney, and he's getting a good hand from the Scarborough fans. It's Sam Reid. That's been a cracking performance by him today, on loan from Sheffield Wednesday, and you can hear what the Scarborough fans think of that performance by Sam Reid.
Yeah, he's been excellent, and his flip from the right side to the left side with Harry Green, both been excellent. I think both wide players starved the service a little bit in the first half, but second half, wow, great performances.
You're listening to BBC Radio York, following Scarborough, myself and Neil Redfern, and it is 4-1 to Scarborough after being a goal down after half an hour. Ball won again by Luca Colville, distributed to the left side. Harry Green's gone onto that left side, switched with Sam Reid coming off, and he's gone out there to torment the Marine defence on that side. Lewis Maloney.
There's a spring in the step now. This Scarborough side playing with confidence. It's a good result, this, if it stays like this, because they're no mugs, Marine. They've been on a good run of form. This will be a good result to get.
Yeah, 5 undefeated at home for Scarborough, and they'll move on to do the same to Buxton next week. Shaw on the left side, ball down the line to Sinclair Smith, who's worked hard for Marine today, but just not had any joy, and frustrated with that shot that hit the post about 10 minutes ago. Can't get on the end of that one. It is a Scarborough goal kick. Don't forget, if you want to get in touch with the programme, just hearing that Harrogate have slipped behind at Plough Lane against Wimbledon. AFC Wimbledon taking the lead down there. It is 1-0. And when you look at that Tranmere result earlier in the day, a 4-0, unlikely 4-0 win for them over Chesterfield, that's not great to hear from down at Plough Lane for Simon Weaver's men. Just wanted to say that if you do want to get in touch with the programme before we go off air this evening, your thoughts on how Scarborough have gone today, you can text us. Start your message with the word York 81333. Tweet us at BBC York Sport, or you can get in touch by WhatsApp. Again, you have to start your message with the word York 0800321 333. Interesting to hear your thoughts on how this game's unfolded today. It's been a game of two halves in many ways, Neil.
Yeah, it has. But I think what they've done is they've shown a little bit of character, Scarborough, because it wasn't going all their own way first half. They were the better side. Marine, we spoke about that, but they've shown great character, and as the goals have gone in, they've just grown in confidence. And the type of football they're playing now is what we're used to.
Yeah, tribute to the players, because whatever it was that Jonathan Greening said at half-time, and he certainly will have said something, he's got a response, hasn't he?
Yeah, he has. I'm pleased as well for Stephen Walker, because, he's playing that lone striker role. We were a little bit critical of him first half, because he was struggling, to be honest with you, but his finishing's been out at the top draw since the game's gone on.
And I think his answer to that would be that once he received the service,
look what he can do. Exactly.
Corner to Marine. Little foray down that right side. Hazelhurst it was who tried to put the cross in, and it was cannoned out of play for a corner off a Scarborough defender. So it is Hazelhurst again in the 17 shirt. Try and swing this ball in. He look for Butler again, the central defender. He finds Butler, he gets ahead on it, under pressure from Mackenzie Maltby, but the ball fades past Ryan Whitley's.
I tell you what, to be fair to him, Butler, he definitely gets something on it, even if he's attacking or defending.
Yeah, he's scored for both sides today.
Yeah. Michael Duckworth time's up.
Yeah, Michael Duckworth comes off. He took that little knock around about 15 minutes ago, and he's going to come off. Jack Waldron,
I think
who comes on to replace him, and another change, I think, for Marine, possibly. No.
Yeah, I think his performance has improved, hasn't it? Second half, Duckworth, I think he's been in it a lot more, shown a lot more composure. His passing's been a lot better.
Yeah, I thought it was Hazelhurst. I thought that was coming off there for Marine. There seemed to be a bit of protest from him, but he stayed out there. And on the ball now. Goes back to Thomas. Thomas pumps the ball forward down the right side. Robinson trying to make something of it, but ball picked up by Alex Brown and knocked forward into Stephen Walker. Tried to supply Harry Green, but Marine defender there first. Good head by Mackenzie Maltby in the centre of the defence. Of course, Scarborough missing Will Thornton today, and I think at this juncture he's probably not going to be risked with that niggling injury, and they'll look to get him back fully fit for next week against Buxton, Neil.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, I thought they'd missed more than they have today. I think the second half performance has been tremendous, to be honest with you. And all they've done really is up the tempo. They've gone 10-15 yards further up the pitch. They've got closer to their opposition. They've put the foot in. They've been a little bit quicker and brighter with the passing, and the goals have seemingly come.
Waldron in the 22 shirt, just in front of the dugouts. Goes back to Luca Colville. Colville to Purver. Purver finds Waldron again. Nice little triangle there, and then Waldron tries to trick his way past the Marine left back. Can't do so, but it is a Scarborough throw-in. Waldron, chance to cross, just rolls his foot across the ball. Ball back to Purver. Luca Colville, chance for Colville on the edge of the box, puts the shot in, didn't really catch it, and it's straight at the Marine keeper.
Yeah, good play by Luca Colville though. Great play to fashion himself a shot, but never really struck it.
Yeah, he's had one or two little opportunities today. One that flashed just wide of the post early in the second half.
Yeah.
Oh, chance here, Harry Green. Clear on the left side, but the recovering defender, Thomas, just got a foot in and pushed the ball out for the Scarborough corner, but the ball suddenly just broke, I think, off a Marine player to Harry Green, and he'd only the keeper to beat initially, but as he tried to get the ball under control and fashion the shot, Thomas just whipped it off his toe end, Neil.
Yeah, I mean, they look a little bit 6s and 7s now, Marine, like the race is run, but it's great defending that from Thomas.
Yeah, I think the changes, they've maybe lost a little bit of shape.
Yeah.
But it is a free kick to Marine. Nothing happening from that corner for Scarborough. And I make it about 5 minutes to go.
Well, this will be a good result, this, for Scarborough. Like I said before, I mean this game in particular was a bit of a banana skin because people have misjudged this side. They've had some good results, and we're seeing the performance, the confidence of the performance first half from Marine. Had the noses in front, but found the feet. Scarborough really produced.
Yep, I'll ask you about your man of the match in a minute, Neil, if you want to have a think about that one, although there is one obvious candidate.
Yeah.
And I just want to put a word in about York Knights tomorrow, the Rugby League. I'll be there describing the action as they face Widnes in the quarter-final of the 1895 Cup. And 2 wins from Wembley. That'll be a cracking game tomorrow. If you want to listen in, we're on air at 2 o'clock on BBC Radio York. And here it is 4-1 and a convincing victory for the Sea Dogs today. Ball thrown down the line by Jack Waldron, headed out by Marine defender, and he gets the opportunity to repeat what he's just done as Scarborough make a change, and there you go. Look, I said that we probably wouldn't see Will Thornton today, and he comes on to replace Stephen Walker, the hat-trick hero, coming off to a cracking round of applause. Alex Purver, who was the skipper, hands the captain's armband to Will Thornton, and Thornton just going to play out the last 3 or 4 minutes, and a lovely embrace between Jonathan Greening and the hat-trick hero Stephen Walker down there, and that looked to me as though Jonathan Greening said, "I told you so, I told you could do it." A lovely moment between the coach and his player.
Yeah, he's definitely delivered today, Stephen Walker. When it mattered, showed the quality and the confidence that he's got in front of goal. 3 great finishes.
Long clearance downfield from the Marine keeper, and it was Callum Murphy, the other of the Irish contingent from this Marine side, who's been introduced to the action late on. Robinson puts the cross in. Hazelhurst gets a head on it, tries to bring the ball down, but it's whipped off his toe by Lewis Maloney, and then Maloney's clearance only falls to a Marine player. Shaw in on the left side, but poor pass inside, picked up by over, and Colville under pressure. Ball pings between him and Maloney, and Robinson keeps going, puts a crossing chance at the far post for Grant. And he can't make anything of it. Surprised Grant stayed on, because he looks as though he's been out of gas for about the last 20 minutes to me, Neil.
Yeah, he does. I mean, look, he's led the line quite well, particularly first half, but his influence has diminished as the game's gone on, you're right.
So 4-1 to Scarborough Athletic. Crossing nodded away by Jack Waldron. And then Alex Purver once more gets a foot in, picks play up, tidies things up for Scarborough as they come forward again through Alex Brown. So 3 goals for Stephen Walker today, leading the line for Scarborough in the absence of Richie Bennett. And an own goal from James Butler contributed to Scarborough's total. Alex Purver playing very deep and once more just tidying things up breaking things up as Marine come forward. We were talking about that man of the match, Neil. Are you going anywhere else than the obvious?
No, Stephen Walker. I mean, look, anybody who gets an hat-trick deserves, man of the match. It's the hardest thing in the game to do, score goals. I mean, there's been some great performances. Alex Purver, I think, stood out. Domtier and Colville have put a shift in midfield. And Harry Green's shown his quality in wide areas, but Stephen Walker with his 3 goals for me today stand out.
Yep. I can't disagree, and I don't think anybody else would, to be honest with you. Finlay Sinclair-Smith just knocking that ball back outside of his right boot as once more Marine come forward, trying to reduce the areas. They trail 4-1. And Scarborough fans are celebrating over on the far side. Throw in for Marine. As I say, there's only a slim mathematical chance that they could be relegated in 16th place. Hazelhurst finds himself a bit of space on the right side, tries to put the cross in, blocked by the hard-working Domtier.
Yeah, he does a lot of things that are unnoticed, Domtier. He's much appreciated by his teammates. His work ethic's unbelievable. Both him and Colwell have put a real shift in today in that midfield engine room.
Yeah, I think from both of them's point of view, I think certainly that work rate has gone up in the second half. We talked about the sort of last lacklustre opening by Scarborough, but there's been a real response from them, and to their credit as a team.
Definitely. And I think from Scarborough's point of view, look, these are the sort of games that they've got to be winning, for next season, going into, what should be a season where they've got the experience of a group now. If they can keep this group together, really go to town next season, see if they can get into that top 10.
Yeah, we've not mentioned it today, Neil, but the news broke obviously a couple of days ago that Bailey Gooder, the central defender who's been out with that hernia injury, won't play again this season, and is announced that he is to move on next season. And he's been a good servant over 6 seasons here at Scarborough, hasn't he?
Yeah, he has. I mean, I saw him early on in the season, and he had some immense performances. A real leader at the back, and they've had to really juggle things around to sort of account for his loss, to be honest with you. He's such a good player and such a talisman that it's a difficult one for them to lose, but I'm sure the club will wish him the best, and wherever he goes, I would have thought he'd go with the best wishes of the Scarborough following, because he's given everything.
And credit really to that player finding mentality of Jonathan Greening, because they brought Mackenzie Maltby in, and he's been a revelation in many ways, hasn't he, and stepped right into the breach of losing Bailey Gooder.
Yeah, definitely. And in other things as well. I mean, he's asked questions of players that don't play in certain positions. I mean, Wellerjai's a full-back. He's playing at centre-back today. You wouldn't know he were a full-back. He's been outstanding there. And the lads just seem to muck in here. Played left-backs, right-back, left-back. And it's important, because when you've got a small squad, you've got to be able to adjust and adapt. And they're a fantastic group of players to have, by the looks of it. They epitomise work ethic.
Yeah, absolutely. Still 4-1 in the dying embers of the game here at the Sports Village today. 4 games to go for Scarborough after today. Remains to be seen with results elsewhere, whether they'll improve on that 13th position that Jonathan Greening's anxious they do. That's where they finished in the division last year. Will Thornton defending strongly, uncompromising defending there. He certainly wasn't letting Callan Murphy past him. There's Grant hugging the left touchline this time. Ball breaks free. Chance for Sinclair Smith. Hits it on the half volley, but hits it high over Ryan Whitley's crossbar.
Yeah, he just couldn't get it down, could he? I mean, it sat up lovely. Just probably needed to wait for it to drop a little bit more.
It's that anxiety, isn't it? Am I going to get closed down, or shall I just rattle it as soon as I can?
Stephen Walker.
And the official man of the match announced, no surprise to anybody, Stephen Walker, for his hat-trick. 2 superb headers and a penalty tucked away into the corner of the net, giving the keeper no chance. Wellerjai with the head on. He's been pushed forward as Kieran Wellerjai since Will Thornton came on.
Yeah.
Will Thornton in his customary centre-back position, the skipper. Ooh, Alex Purver got caught late there. It was a reckless sort of a challenge by Owen Robinson, and this late in the game. Normally you see a yellow card produced for something like that, but he's got away with it.
Yeah, he just gets on with it, doesn't he, Purver? Great servant.
Yeah. Yeah, I would think if you... I don't know what the meterage covered stats would show, but I would think Alex Purver would top it most weeks, Neil.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, he's a player that I know from my time at Leeds United. He was at Leeds with, in the youth teams.
Yep.
Got very close to the first team when I was first team manager. He was probably the next one in. But yeah, I mean, great performer. Such consistency. Gives absolutely everything.
Yeah. The Yorkshire term, he's got a right engine on him.
Yeah.
Oh, shot from a long way out by Lewis Maloney, just trying to curl that ball, but curled it too much, went over the bar, and it is actually the last action of the game down here at the Sports Village today, and it's a game that turned on its head just after the half hour. Marine had been the better side of visitors up to that point. They led by that James Butler header, but from then on, to some extent, it was the Stephen Walker show. He got the equaliser before half-time, and from there, Scarborough looked a different side in the second half. He added a second powerful header from inside the box from a great cross, and then put a penalty away after Dom Tier had been brought down in the box right in front of the referee. And Scarborough added to that with a low cross from Harry Green. It was turned into his own net by the Marine central defender James Butler to make the final score down here 4-1. And overall, over the 90 minutes, Scarborough have been very, very good value for that Neil Redfern.
Yeah, I think so. You know, I think that half-time came at the right time for Scarborough, and whatever Jono said, you know, had the desired effect because they just upped the game. I think it's too much for Marine in the end. I thought it was a gallant effort from Marine. They came and tried to have a go. A lot of sides have come to Scarborough and sat in and made it difficult for them, but they came and tried to make a game of it. And it was a fantastic spectacle, lots of chances, lots of good play, lots of good defending. But Stephen Walker's finishing was absolutely outstanding. The quality of delivery in as well just shows you when you get good ball in the box that Scarborough have got the strikers to find the back of the net, and it's a great performance, great result, good day all round for Jono and his team.
Yep, Neil Redfern at the side of me. He's going to stay with us for a little while, but fabulous analysis of the game today. And we thank you for being with us. As I say, he's going to stay around hopefully for a little while yet. But with the final score down here at the Scarborough Sports Village, Scarborough Athletic 4, Marine FC 1. I'll hand you back to Pete Spencer in the studio. We'll have a little bit of reaction, hopefully very quickly, from Jono Greening, the Scarborough Athletic coach.
Weekday afternoons from 2
with Toby Foster.
There's a group of blokes in Arbuza, and they're all of an age. They're going to Ibiza. I know this about Ibiza. There's a lot of drug taking goes off. Wait till these boys turn up with the simvastatin and the blood pressure tablets.
Hello. Get you sent to Balearics.
When we get to Balearics, we go to Mallorca, and I go to Polenta, and I enjoy it. I know I enjoy it because I'm told. And the best thing for me is to go for a walk down the front, put some proper trousers on, have a pizza, and don't go mad on that Baileys because you know you'll not get to sleep.
Weekday afternoons from 2.
Toby Foster.
BBC Radio York.
BBC Radio York Sport.
BBC Radio York Sport. Pete Spencer taking you through full-time wear. What a day it's been for Scarborough Athletic. Victors on the day by 4-1 over Marine as well. Let's see if we can get some more reaction from Tim Steer down at Plough Lane, because I believe the final whistle has just gone at Plough Lane between AFC Wimbledon and Harrogate Town. So let's get that full-time report from Tim Steer.
Full-time score here, AFC Wimbledon 1, Harrogate Town 0. It looked like for all the world it was just going to end in another 0-0 draw for Harrogate Town on the road until the 77th minute of the game, where a low ball from the right-hand side from Osman Foyo, one of the substitutes, found Alistair Smith in the right side of the box from about 12 yards out. He hit it first time across James Belshaw into the bottom right-hand corner of Belshaw's net for the only goal of the game. Harrogate Town pushed right to the very end to try and get something, with a couple of chances in injury time where it wouldn't quite fall for Brian Bolongo at the far post. But it was one of those games where, again, Harrogate Town, who we know have been struggling to score on the road, just didn't look like they were going to create that chance that could get themselves an equaliser in this game. It's now a 6th away game in a row without scoring for Harrogate Town, but the big thing for them is that results elsewhere have gone their way, with Morecambe losing 3-1 at Grimsby Town. So in the end, nothing changes. Harrogate Town remain 9 points above the relegation zone now, with just 5 games left to go. But I'm sure manager Simon Weaver will have looked on at that performance and thought AFC Wimbledon weren't at their best. They certainly were there for the taking. and maybe if they create those few more chances going forward, they could have got something from this game. But in the end, they will leave London without anything. AFC Wimbledon 1, Harrogate Town 0.
Okay, thank you, Tim Steer. We'll be back with Tim shortly as he gets some reaction there from Plough Lane. Elsewhere, further down the footballing pyramid today, in the Northern Counties East Football League Premier Division, it ended Pickering Town 1, Eccleshill United 1, Tadcaster Albion, well, they lost 1-0 at home to Beverley Town. Finished Winterton Rangers 2, Knaresborough Town 1. Division 1, Harrogate Railway 0, Maltby Main 2, Dronfield Town 2, Selby Town 3, and in the Northern League it finished goalless between Blythe Town and North Allerton Town. So it's over to you. Your opinions and messages most certainly welcome. You can text us on 81333, start your message with the word York, or on WhatsApp we're on 08000 321 333. Or you can tweet us at BBC York Sport. Whether or not you're reacting to York City's win over AFC Fylde earlier in the day, whether or not you're a Harrogate Town fan reacting to that narrow defeat away at AFC Wimbledon, or whether or not you're a Scarborough Athletic fan who have been treated to 4 goals for your side there at the Sports Village. But it's gone 5 o'clock on Saturday the 5th of April, and this is the verdict.
Have your say on your team. BBC Radio York Sport. The verdict.
Where York City made it 3 wins in a row with a 3-1 win over AFC Fylde. Ollie Pearce with a penalty, Joe Felix with his first league goal of the season, and Malachi Fagan-Walcott with the finish from a set-piece corner routine.
Let's see what Hunt can do.
Hunt whips them more than pings them, doesn't he?
And he does whip it to the near post. Flicker back heel. It's a goal. It goes. Brilliant save. This in. It's got to be in. It is. It's another goal for Malachi Fagan-Walcott. And it's another goal for Gary Elphick, who gets a big hug off his manager. It was whipped into the near post. Only 2 yards off the floor, a little back heel by Pearce, and it found Fagan-Walcott, and it's somehow managed to just get it over the line. Despite the best efforts of the goalkeeper, York City are getting all 3 points.
City now move to 83 points, 9 behind Barnet, who drew with Braintree today, and 7 points clear of Forest Green after they drew with Wealdstone. Harrogate Town, well, they held on for 77 minutes, but eventually the pressure told and they conceded away at AFC Wimbledon.
Now down the right for AFC Wimbledon. Low ball towards that near post, and it's turned home. Across the face of goal by Alistair Smith. 76.5 minutes in, the deadlock's finally been broken, and it's AFC Wimbledon 1, Harrogate Town 0.
And Scarborough Athletic came from behind to secure all 3 points thanks to a hat-trick from Stephen Walker, with goals either side of half-time.
Stephen Walker and just rolls the ball into the corner of the net with the goalkeeper going the other way. And Stephen Walker has a trick for Scarborough. It is Scarborough Athletic 3, Marine 1.
And things got even better for Scarborough Athletic after Marine conceded an own goal, making it 4-1 in the end for the Sea Dogs. That's 5 games now unbeaten at home for Jonathan Greening's side. So reaction to come from all 3 of our featured games this afternoon. We'll bring you the thoughts of York City manager Adam Hinchwood, in case you missed it earlier on, along with winger Ashley Nathaniel George and managers Simon Weaver and Jonathan Greening. But crucially, we want to hear from you.
BBC Radio York Sport. The verdict. Tweet at BBC York Sport.